What are the differences between the Biden and Trump administrations for immigration processing times? And
So
really, like, that's the question. But really, what I want to know is, like, is it more of a culture thing? Like, did Trump actually change rules, or did he just tell people to go slower? Or was
yeah,
it like
no, yeah.
was it a memo, or like how does
So
that work?
unlike any other law in the entire world, right, which is supposed to be an independent sort of administrative or judicial process, right? Unlike any other law in the world, and especially the legal processes that we're used to here in the United States, immigration is completely and solely driven by the executive. Okay, so whoever's in charge at the presidency level, right, the government, right,
Oh, so he's like the CEO of the USCIS.
what it's exactly, it's because he or she, they have huge humongous power and influence, okay, to
Mhm.
so whoever's in charge at the presidency level, right, the whichever manner, right, that they
Oh, so
like.
he's
So for
like the
example, there
CEO
used to
of
be
the
a rule that they
USCIS.
now brought back up, that the Trump administration took away, where they were supposed to be able to process um, any work authorization, right, permit within 3 months. That was their duty. They have to do that. If not, basically you're messing up. You can get them in trouble, et cetera, et cetera. So the Trump administration said, well, that's not a rule anymore, right? So then
Take your time.
take your time. It doesn't matter. So that was something that they implemented, right? Other things like, for example, certain visas typically would allow, say, the spouse of a person who comes here with a certain type of visa, L visa, H visa, those type of visas, right? I mean, it really depends on the visa, but I'm just throwing names out there, right? Basically, there used to be rules that were implemented that would allow the spouse, right, in those type of visas to work. Then the Trump administration came in and said, no, we're not going to have that. So they took it away. Now they're bringing it back. So little things, but definitely big things as well. I know we're like focusing on all type of visas, not really removal defense, like deportation defense, but on
Sure.
that ground, there were huge changes that had a humongous impact on
So there
people.
was most of the changes were around like the whole Mexico border thing, just like deporting
Yeah,
everyone.
well, yeah, people who are put in removal proceedings, exactly. People who are put in removal proceedings, there's huge changes over there.
Just ship them away, just ship them back
Just
to their
well,
country.
exactly. Well, to minimize the ability for them to even make for their attorneys to make arguments that have
Yeah.
had decades of precedent, right? So you utilize this precedent, these cases, right, from the Board of Immigration of Appeals and all that, and you say, look, for 40 years we've considered that this type of sort of situation would grant an asylum. So then what the executive can do is say, oh, this this particular case that you guys have been relying on for this particular type of people, it no longer is valid. So forget
So
about it.
wait, so they
You
can
can't
throw
use.
out court. The executive can throw out court precedent with
Yeah.
USCIS. That's
Yep.
that's really crazy because that's
Yeah.
contrary to all other
Hmm.
branches. Like in the like.
So the Department of Justice, exactly. So the
So
head of
so
the
but in general, like like for court precedent to be removed, it has to be superseded by a new court precedent.
that is
Isn't that
correct.
generally how it works everywhere?
That is correct. Yes. So that's why immigration is so crazy. So that's what they did on the Trump administration,
You could just throw.
and they just threw them all out.
That's
Now
so crazy. You could
they
just throw
brought
out
they
a court
brought a lot
precedent.
of them back, and then there's other ones that it's actually really beneficial. For example, one thing that they brought back, and this is, could affect millions of people in a positive manner, was that, there's a lot of people in here that have been living here with TPS, temporary protected status.
Watching this clip of the U.S. Immigration Foundation live stream. We go live every Monday and we are answering all of your questions. If you have a specific immigration question or tax question, international tax, show up on Monday or just post the comment here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow the channel if you have other questions about immigration or moving to the US, and we want to just help you out. So thank you for being here. Like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you on Monday.